Right, Ipswich Town have drawn 4-4 at Charlton Athletic this afternoon, Stu. It's one of the most bizarre endings to a game I think anybody who was at the Valley here will ever have seen. Where to start? Should we just start in stoppage time? 2-2 heading into stoppage time, and then all hell broke loose.
Yeah, I've written down the notes of goals and things because I'll forget about it otherwise. We've both been covering football for more than a decade, never seen a game like that before, don't think we'll ever see a game like it again. 4 goals in stoppage time. 4 goals. And it looked like this was going to be a day to remember forever, for good reasons for Ipswich Town, when Sam Morsey's deflected shot from the edge of the box went into the bottom corner. Absolute pandemonium in that away end. It was in front of that away end, packed with 3,000 or so Ipswich Town fans. And it looked like it was going to be the perfect week for Ipswich, who'd won sort of a ding-dong second half, 4-2 up. I think there was, let's have a look, 90 plus 4 on the clock at that point, and they'd already shown the board for 6 minutes of stoppage time. So 4-2 up with 2 minutes to play, and it ends in a draw.
It does, and as Kieran McKenna says, if you're 4-2 up on 90 plus 4, you probably should win, and that is a very true statement. But Ipswich have not won this game this afternoon. It's hard to know what on earth happened. Charlton have somehow, against the odds, managed to make 2 goal-scoring opportunities after that, which, you know, really, when the board went up for 6 minutes, they shouldn't do. They shouldn't be able to. But not only did they make those opportunities, got balls into the Ipswich box that weren't particularly well defended. They scored twice. I think the 4 Charlton goals, if you add them up this afternoon, is probably, what, are you reaching the penalty spot in distance from the goal that they were put in by? Yeah. And there's two more of them here. And it's incredibly deflating. It's just crazy. We're struggling to keep our heads here, aren't we?
Yeah, we're still, I don't know what time it is now, but we're still sort of approaching a couple of hours from the final whistle. I'm still trying to get my head around that. I'm sure it's still the same for Ipswich fans, so it's going to take days probably to get our heads around what's happened here. Let's start with the bad stuff, shall we? Because there is a lot of good stuff in there today when we properly unpick it and reflect on it. But the bad stuff is the goals against. Long balls into the box are becoming a bit of an Achilles heel for Ipswich. They struggled with it at Port Vale in midweek, and again today, just long, deep balls to the back post, high balls into the area that Ipswich struggled underneath. The ultimate equaliser is a looping header back over the top of Walton. The one before that was a sort of far post knockdown. That's something they really need to tighten up on and work on as we get into these winter months, isn't it?
Yeah, Leif Davis was the one beaten at the back post for the ultimate equaliser, the fourth one. You can't pin it all on the fullbacks, but I don't think the fullbacks have coped particularly well with those diagonal balls. That's who they're aimed at. I think you can look at Christian Walton today as well, who's been exceptional for Ipswich Town. But an off day for him. I think it was the second. It's struggling to keep all these separate. I think it was the second where he'll obviously be sitting on the coach now, hugely frustrated. He's got down to make a save, but pushed it straight back across his own body, and into danger to be tapped in for the 2-2.
So we don't get confused. Shall I try and run through this quickly in sort of chronological order, because I don't want to miss anything out with things that happened today. First half, quite cagey. Wasn't that many chances, which is mad to say when we're reflecting here on 4-4, but wasn't any huge big chances. 2 possession-based sides that were sort of cancelling each other out. And then Ipswich scored in stoppage time. I thought they were looking like the better side as that first half went on, started to get a bit of combination play going in the final third, finally got a breakthrough. Also in stoppage time in the first half, George Edmondson bullet header on a Leif Davis corner. Good goal, that one, wasn't it?
Yeah, really nice. There was some penalty shouts before that. Tyrese John Jules kind of really nice little step inside and curled it towards the far corner, and all of a sudden it's taken a diversion and gone wide of the post. Ipswich wanted a penalty.
McKenna thought that should have been a red card, and that again could have completely changed the dynamic of this game. Had Charlton gone down to 10, Ipswich went and scored obviously from the subsequent corner, but had Charlton gone down to 10, that might have been a little bit different.
Yeah, I don't think that crossed my mind at the time. Actually, I was thinking this isn't an issue now. George Edmondson's got up at the near post, really, really nice header back across goal and scored. And at that point, it didn't feel like the penalty shout was an issue. But yeah, if it's a red card, that changes everything, doesn't it?
Okay, so we go into the second half, and Ipswich get a second goal in the 52nd minute. and it is Tyrese John Jules this time. Charlton aren't happy. They don't think it's a foul. George Dobson tackle on Connor Chaplin, I think it was.
Dominic Ball.
On Dominic Ball, sorry, yeah, that's right. Surging run through the middle of the park from Dominic Ball. Dobson slides in. They don't think it's a foul, but it's given as a foul. It's given as a yellow card. Chaplin's free kick hits the wall. It spins out to the right, and the Charlton players just stopped. Chaplin goes and retrieves it, tees up Wes Burns, cross into the box. Tyrese John Jules header, 2-0.
Charlton wanting an offside in there at some point
Yes.
as well on John Jules.
That's what Garner's saying. Yeah.
I've not seen that one back, but it seemed like a good header to me. The big issue that Charlton, of course, there is just they all camped back to the 6-yard box as that ball spun away. As you said, all the defenders. Jaden Stockley was leading that press as well. They rushed back to the 6-yard box and they gave Chaplin and Burns so much time to pick out eventually a cross, which John Jules headed in. And at 2-0, we were talking about. Ben Garner has been sent off as a result of his protestations about that goal, and as he's leaving, he's whipping up the crowd, and it's getting quite hot. We're sat in the middle of the home stand, no safety at the away end for us at this point. It's getting quite heated here, and you said to me that if they get one, this is going to go mad in here, and then we said actually if Ipswich can see out 10 minutes of this, let that die down, maybe 15 minutes. Then this game should be good.
Yes,
but
they saw out 12 minutes before Charlton did pull one back. But I thought that Garner red card and his reaction, he was, like you say, it was a yellow card and then it became a second yellow and he was off and then he remonstrated with the fourth official and he really whipped that crowd up into a frenzy before he went down the tunnel, didn't he? And you just felt if Charlton could get one, it would change, and they did get one. Raksaki with that goal and the Charlton subs made a difference, didn't they? Chuks Anike and Corey Blackett-Taylor both came on and made a real difference. It was Anike whose shot was hit the legs of Christian Walton and rebound 2-1.
Yeah, I wouldn't put that one on. It was a good save, I thought, from Walton to keep that one out. No issue there. Obviously, the ball bounced into great danger. The keeper's sprawled out on the floor and Raksaki's reacted quickest to turn it in. But the second one, I thought, I'm sure Christian would agree that not covered himself in glory well at all with that one.
That was 64th minute, then it became 2-2 on 76. This one, maybe a few more question marks on Christian Walton, wasn't it? Corey Blackett-Taylor, his shot spilled or pushed back into a dangerous area, wasn't it, by Christian Walton, and another rebound finish from close range.
But then we fast forward to. We don't have to go straight to stoppage time. There's a golden chance for Kyle Edwards in here as well, isn't there? Came off the bench. I thought he looked fairly bright, actually. He was straight into the action, running at Sean Clare at right back, but he had such a good chance to make it 3-2 before stoppage time. And I would wager that if they'd gone 3-2 up before stoppage time, we're not quite going to be getting the madness.
When the board went up for 6 minutes, I said to you, I've never known the board go up for 6 minutes and both sets of fans sort of roar it in encouragement, as if both teams, obviously both sets of fans, obviously both felt their team could go on and win it. It was that sort of emotional atmosphere within the stadium, and it did feel like a winner was coming. And then Ipswich go and score twice. They're both goals from outside the box. Freddie Ladapo on as a sub for Ipswich showed really good strength. Worked himself half a yard of room edge of the box, rifled it into the bottom corner. Pandemonium. Moments later, Sam Morsey shot deflected, bottom corner, 4-2, and by that point, all hell had broken loose.
Yeah. Did you see Morsey and Keogh, the way they were like this with each other, kind of like dancing towards the away end? It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing.
Wolfenden, whipping up right in the front row of the Ipswich fans.
Right in Ross's face. So he was right. I saw him. He was right in front of you on the board. He was up on the advertising boards, wasn't he, Luke Wolfenden? Amazing scenes.
And this is where Kieran McKenna says, I mean, they would have been scenes that lived long in the memory forever. They'd have sort of surpassed all the Noel Hunt drama from, 2015, Ipswich here, 2014, the playoff season. And those emotions probably got the better of Ipswich, really. I think they just lost their heads. I think when the second one went in, they thought that was it, that was job done, and naturally so. And just lost their composure a little bit. It was... in those last few moments, and even when that Charlton goal went in out of nowhere, again deep ball in, you go, there might be one last sting in the tail, and there was.
Yeah, and there was. It was a break from a break through midfield, and then once they'd got through the Ipswich midfield, that's when the alarm bells started to ring. In once we'd reached 90+9, ball into the box, hung up to the back post, headed back, looping over Walton, and dropped very slowly for Ipswich into the far corner. And
we haven't even mentioned a first half incident where they had to put an announcement out to say they would have pulled the players off the pitch because there was a fan in the crowd in the Charlton and blowing a whistle that kept affecting the players. I think John Jules actually stopped when he was virtually through on goal. That really affected things a couple of times as well. So this game had everything today. We've got to go away and really sort of get our heads around it. I'd love to. I'm looking forward to seeing. Say looking forward, but I'd be interested to see some of these goals back again and pick them out. But how do we reflect, Andy, at the end of a week where Ipswich Town have beaten Derby, won at Port Vale, and drawn at Charlton here today in strange circumstances, but 7 points from that's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, all in all it is. And you let some reflections going on over there as well, slightly different tone, I think. When the dust settles on the manner of this one, a point at Charlton's not bad, is it? A Charlton team that are finding their feet a little bit and moving forward. It's not dreadful. The manner of it is pretty horrible, pretty tough to take, but I think all in all, 7 points from a week. And we were talking on the way up about how Ipswich Town felt as a club the last time Ipswich were here at the Valley. Those scenes after the game of fans and players not as one. No, there was not an awful lot of harmony between everybody at the club at that point, coming on for the best part of a year ago now. But Ipswich Town are in a decent place. It doesn't feel like it after a game like that, but they're doing all right.
Yeah, 17 games in, still second in the table. Just missed out on the chance to go top today, but in a pretty good place, I think, overall. Bit of a break now. November's more of a cup month, isn't it? We've got Bracknell coming up in the FA Cup, some Papa John's Trophy knockout action as well. Go away and reflect on that one. 4-4 at the Valley today. See you soon.